Hey, business builders. I recently had the opportunity to talk in person with one of our new students, Corey Williams from Mamba Custom Interiors. Now, we dove deep into his experience joining the Craft Career community, and we went into everything from the Lead Launch Challenge to the Accelerator program and everything that's changed his life. If you want to get serious about taking your woodworking business to the next level, check out this interview with Corey Williams of Mamba Custom Interiors. You'll thank me later. I guarantee it.
What was life like before? What is life like now?
Going through the coaching was like life-changing. John will specifically talk with you about if you have this specific issue in your business, he'll go in depth and talk about his experience, which I think is the most important piece.
Lead Launch Challenge, tell me a little bit about it. What did you think going into it and what do you think you got out of it?
It's simple information, but you need to apply it. And when you actually apply the information, I actually got 3 leads out of it in the first 20 minutes. It's not like groundbreaking information, but John puts it together so well in this course where you're like, oh yeah, if I just do these things, there's no way I won't get leads.
How much revenue has just the Lead Launch Challenge helped your business generate?
So my last job was a little less than 7,000.
Do you feel like the Lead Launch Challenge is something you can go back to again and again and again to drum leads up?
Absolutely. And I think you do such a good job of actually breaking it down step by step, and you have it in a way that it's like day 1, day 2, day 3, but you can do everything in the span of a couple of hours if you actually just sit down and put your mind to it. And I think John does a good job of case studies and actually walking you through the importance of doing each step.
In the Lead Launch specifically, I watched you start and then come back to group coaching 5 days later. It seemed like your excitement levels were through the roof. Talk about that a little bit.
The first day I watched day 1 of Lead Launch Challenge, I literally was in bed, I was on my computer, I looked over at my wife and I just started smiling. I was like, this stuff is good. This stuff is really good. You really do have to put the work in too. He's gonna give you all the things that you need, but you actually have to put the work in. There's no magic button that you just push after going through Lead Launch Challenge and now all of a sudden you're, making a $7,000 job. It actually took time for me to actually go through and put this stuff together, and I thought about what I wanted to put out, and it worked out really well for me, but I was excited because I was looking at this stuff and I'm saying to myself, I know this is gonna work, and then once I saw that it worked, I was through the roof. I was super pumped about it.
Talk about the difficulty of that work, because as makers, I know that we anticipate work to be labor, to be physical, to be hard. The work that goes into driving up business is completely different. And I think the expectation is it's going to be something that you have to have this incredibly profound skill set, when in reality you don't, right?
No, not at all. I mean, you hit it home in the course. You talk about working on your business versus working in your business. And I think as people in the maker space, I think we want to be out there doing our craft, but you really have to take that step back if you want to grow and realize that it's going to take, if you're doing 40 hours a week in the shop, you need to be doing at least 10 to 15 hours working on your business. That was a complete mind shift for me. I was I'd be down in my shop for hours. I'm like, why am I not getting business? It's because I'm not actually working on it. So that was really big, one of the things that you pointed out. But yeah, no, it's definitely a mind shift. You have to work on your business and not work in your business all the time.
A little bit more on that, working on your business. It's not as difficult as it seems, right?
No.
To sit down and go through your contact list to find some leads, how hard was that?
It was super simple. And really what I did was I used my iPad and I got my phone up and I just kind of literally scrolled through my contacts. I was like, this person could potentially give me a lead. And I wrote their name down. And then I just went down the next day and literally just check marked every single person that I wanted to talk to. So I put my content out on Facebook, and then I sent the content specifically to these people because, John brought the story up before. Just because you're posting on Facebook doesn't mean everybody in your friend group or your family group knows what you're doing. Make sure you are telling everyone every single time you see someone and they say, hey, how are you doing? Hey, I'm doing good. I'm working on growing my business. Oh, what do you do? And then they might know someone, they might need something, and that's really how you grow your business. It's simple.
I think something great that you just brought up, and we talk about it a lot in group coaching, is the confidence level in being a business owner and the change in your mental dynamic. You came into our program as a confident individual. You've been in sales. That part came easy to you.
Sure.
Right? But we've also watched your confidence in your business specifically skyrocket.
Yeah.
Talk on that a little bit and the confidence boost you get from not only having a coaching program, but being in a group of other like-minded individuals.
Well, I think the big thing with the group coaching is I feel, one, because we have a good group of guys, and that's not just saying it because I'm in the group, but legitimately, like when I first started, everyone was warm. Everyone was like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. But it was one of those things where for me, I got more confidence knowing that specifically I was running this campaign and I put in the group chat, hey guys, what do you think about this? And everyone had their opinion on it. Everyone said, yep, this is good, no, change this. So that gave me more confidence to when I actually put that piece of content out, I know that it has been vetted by a couple of different people. So for me, then seeing the success that that piece of content did, that's where I got the confidence, was bouncing it off other people. Yeah.
And then once you start to see wins, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so once you start seeing wins and once you start saying, okay, I know I'm doing all these things, but now boom, you get a $7,000 sale, that just keeps propelling you more. And that's like I said, it puts smiles on my face, is where I'm like, okay, I know I'm doing all this work and I'm absorbing all this content, but like now I have this win. It's making me want to continue to do the work that I just did. And it's more important to know what made you win than anything else. So I know when I sat down, I did these things, that's what got me to this sale. So now I just keep doing those things.
How much benefit do you see in being able to talk to like-minded individuals who are in the same hustle as you?
If you're a business owner, get around other business owners because they think differently than the 9-to-5 human being. But if you have someone who is on that same journey, you can bounce things off of each other. You might even have a partner out of that person, but they think similar to you. They might have an experience that you don't have to go through because you talk to them about that.
So you came into Craft a Career in the Accelerator Academy. Tell me a little bit, what do you think was the most valuable part of the program?
I would say you do a very good job of breaking down each specific step that someone would need to take to be successful. I think a lot of times people will just kind of give you a broad overview and say, okay, now go figure it out. You do a really good job. Okay, this is how you set your shop up. This is going to be how you set your LLC up. And you just walk through, and it's not in a way that it's hand-holdy where you're like, okay, like I'm not a child, but it's really good information that you put together very well. So I think that was the biggest thing that I got away from the Accelerator program. I was like, okay, this is what I need to do first, then second, then third, then fourth. And when you stack those things together, that's how you're successful.
A lot of the Accelerator Academy students find the pricing modules to be top.
The course was paid for in less than a day after purchasing it, because I actually was in talks with a client about remodeling a pantry, and I was going to charge them $3,000 because I was like, I think this is right. I plugged everything into your software and it popped out like $200, and originally I was like terrified of saying that number, and then I was just like, you kind of even talk about that. I went through and I presented it, and they were like, yep, sounds good. So literally a $2,000 win, extra $2,000 in my pocket that went directly to us because of that pricing module. It was a game changer.
So how much has understanding margin in your business help you from the start make more money? Because I know a lot of business owners and struggling makers and woodworkers can't figure out why there's no profit in the bank account when they get started.
I think a lot of people think profit's a dirty word, but it's not. We talked about this one specific thing where we were talking about why it's important for me to charge as much as I'm charging. Because what I do is I install closets and pantries, and you talked about when you have that profit, you can then use that for your next job, and you can buy maybe a Festool vacuum cleaner to make sure that job looks nice. So it's really important when you have that profit to reinvest that back into your business, or you can use it and go do whatever you want. But I think it's really important that when you have that profit and you understand where that profit's coming from and what you can do with it, it really helps grow your business, and that's how people stay in business. I think the hardest part is we think profit's a bad word. You do such a good job of like, this is what you can do with the profit when you make it, and this is why it's important to do it.
Talk a little bit about the difference in paying yourself and paying your business that you took away from it.
Definitely. I think the big thing was I viewed both of them originally as the same. So when I was doing like little odds and end jobs, like to my wife, I'd be like, hey, we're gonna make $5 on this job, or whatever that number was, $50 on this job. and then the business wouldn't get anything out of it. So I would basically, what I would do is I'd sell something, I would take the material costs, put it back into the business and basically start from zero, and then we would take the rest of it. You really set it up where it's like, okay, no, you pay yourself, you pay the business, and you pay materials, and this is how you do it. And it's really important to do it that way. That's the only way to actually do business, because if not, you're going to be exhausted because you realize I'm working for all of this stuff, but I'm not actually able to do anything else. I'm working for every dollar that I get. It's tough that way.
Yourself.
Correct.
And you're not a business.
Not a business owner at all.
Talk about like how right now you're working out of your garage, and that by changing your pricing model, you see the vision for the future to having a separate facility, to having an office, a building, and then that's where the profits are intended to go.
Yeah, so right now I'm working out of my my basement. It was like a little garage. We actually knocked the wall down when we decided to go full time to the basement. But really, without that pricing method, I don't know if I would ever get to the point where I would think about moving out, just because there's no profits in the business. But now it's like, okay, when I make this money goes to my family to pay our bills. This money goes to the business, whether it's savings, whether it's investing in new equipment, whether that's hiring someone on, and that's what you can do with those profits. Really.
How much money were you making before you started craft career?
I was selling random cutting boards for like 50, 60 bucks. I would say 300 bucks a month, if that. Yeah.
Now, what's your business look like now?
So in the last 2 months, we did just under $14,000, under $15,000, sorry.
How much more do you understand about business now than you did 2 months ago?
It's night and day. It's not even, I'm not the same person when I first started, just because I think we keep talking about this word profit. Like, I understood why I needed to make profit and why it was important for my business, and actually important for the clients as well, for them to pay for me to have profit, because it just gets invested back into them.
How much more valuable do you see your client base now than you used to?
I pivoted to from selling cutting boards and small little things to selling higher end stuff. They value what I'm doing, and I value them for allowing me to do it. And it's important because you're giving them a service, and it's a mutual beneficial agreement.
The value you see in finding the customer first?
You can absolutely sell things for higher ticket when it's custom. I think when you make something generic for someone, they view that as they can just go down to Target or they can go to this store to purchase that item, where if you make it specific to them, one, you can label it custom because it is, but two, they're willing to pay more for it, and three, they're going to value that thing more because you and the client sat down and put their dream from paper to in their house. So.
How much clearer is your vision for your business now that you've discovered what you want to be making and who you want to be selling it to?
So I actually paid for an additional coaching with John, where we sat down and really got clear on what I wanted to be doing. And what I am doing now is I do custom closets and pantries, but that really came clear with talking through with John, like, hey, this is what my vision is for my life, and here's how I get here. So he was really, really pivotal on and kind of changing what I was doing.
How much value do you think your business gets out of knowing that's what you're selling and not just reacting to the market?
I think it's really important to not just go take every single job that we possibly can, and that can be a strategy that wins, but I think you having vision and having clarity on what you want to do allows clients to also have a vision. Okay, Corey does this, and this is who he does it for, and this is how much he charges, versus Corey kind of is a jack of all trades and a master of none. You're gonna be able to profit a lot more and be prosperous on the other side.
Thank you so much for checking out this interview with Corey. And if you're someone who is looking to take their business to a whole other level, check out the link I got down below. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. The community is amazing, and we can get you results just like we got Corey, and help you take your business and your dreams and make them a reality.